The first challenge that we've been facing, and we've noticed from our research and our work in organisations, is that there is a large pool of emerging leaders, high potential talent in the GCC, young and motivated and energetic. And what happens is they tend to be accelerated in their development a lot earlier than their global counterparts. They'll be moved forward in organisations, and what that means that they may have acquired the qualifications, the knowledge, but they may not have had the experiences and some of the stresses and challenges that it may take to actually move from management to leadership. So when we're developing talent, the question really is about how do we accelerate their learning in line with the fact that their development up an organisation is often accelerated. And the solution for us is really to try and develop more immersive, experiential types of learning that can help build the resilience of young leaders to face challenges, to deal with ambiguity, to manage strategically, to deal with uncertainty, to make tough decisions, but in an environment that is facilitative for learning, supports them getting outside their comfort zone, avoids them losing face or making mistakes that may affect their career, but that they can get outside and stretch themselves in a learning space where they can have both emotional learning experience and a cognitive learning experience. So rather than just developing skills and knowledge cognitively, they can actually experience what it's going to be like to make a decision without all the information, or deal with high levels of uncertainty, or present themselves to a panel or in front of a board in quite a challenging situation. So the second challenge that's connected to the first is that as well as this large pool of talented young emerging leaders, we have in organisations already a large pool of experienced leaders, both national and expatriate, with years of knowledge and experience, who've faced those challenges before, who've had that ambiguity and uncertainty, who've worked in very different environments. And the challenge is that at the moment we don't fully see the knowledge being transferred down from these older managers to their younger counterparts. And the solution really, which we've been thinking about, is how do we encourage and facilitate and formalise knowledge transfer? How do we support the older manager being motivated to transfer their knowledge? And also, how do we support them developing their coaching skills, their mentoring skills, their ability to have conversations, and their degree of comfort and reward for developing their successors? I think the idea really is based a lot on our noticing from our Generation Y research as well, and the mismatch of expectations between younger Generation Y emerging leaders and existing leaders in organisations, and understanding the different styles of leadership that younger leaders respond to and what they want the manager as a coach, as a visionary, rather than commanding and controlling them. I think the third challenge for organisations that are developing talent, especially business schools, is to actually make sure that we're underpinning all the things that we do with organisations, the work that we do, our strategic approach to developing talent across the leadership pipeline in a rigorous way, and not just bringing in kind of Western thinking and Western models, but also to take into account the idea of how leadership has emerged in cultures, especially in the Middle East, over generations. And actually really invest, our solution is really to invest in local research, understanding the nuances, the way people lead and develop in the region, and applying this to our development work. For example, we've done a large project around Generation Y in the GCC, looking at their expectations. What do they want from managers? What drives them to succeed? How does this differ from other parts of the world? We've also been looking at Emirati leadership and actually understanding the importance of society and giving back to society in terms of the driver for leadership development. So the key point is that we find that often development here is still kind of underpinned by Western thinking and great leadership models, which is important. But at the same time, we need to think about things from a more granular local perspective and actually really understand what's going on in the region and use that to inform how we develop people.